Imagine diving into the crystal-clear waters of a tropical ocean. Schools of fish swirl around you in a chaotic dance. Coral reefs stretch endlessly beneath the waves, and strange creatures dart in and out of the shadows. But something is off. The seas feel different. There's no fear in the water, no silent ancient hunters lurking just beyond the edge of vision. Because in this world, sharks never existed. From the tiniest plankton to the largest whales, every life form in the ocean has evolved without the influence of nature's most iconic predator. What would our oceans look like? How would life, and even humans, have changed? And would the seas be safer or far more dangerous? To imagine a world without sharks, we first need to understand what they really do. Sharks have been around for more than 400 million years. Older than trees, older than dinosaurs. They've survived mass extinctions, ice ages, and dramatic shifts in Earth's climate. But they're not just survivors, they are architects of the ocean ecosystem. Sharks are apex predators, meaning they sit at the very top of the food chain. They don't just eat to survive. Their hunting regulates populations of other marine creatures. By targeting the weak, the sick, and the old, they keep fish populations healthy and balanced. Without them, the entire ocean food web could collapse in ways that might surprise you. Let's erase sharks from history. They never evolved. The seas are suddenly without their silent guardians. At first glance, you might think this means oceans teeming with more fish, more turtles, and more marine mammals. A paradise for sea life. But nature doesn't work that way. Without sharks keeping populations in check, certain species would explode in number. Rays, for example, would thrive. And while rays might look harmless, they are voracious predators of shellfish. An uncontrolled ray population could strip entire seabeds of clams, oysters, and scallops, devastating ecosystems and destroying natural water filtration systems. This isn't just speculation. Scientists have actually seen it happen in places where shark numbers have dropped due to overfishing. The result? Collapsing fisheries, suffocating algae blooms, and dead zones in the ocean. So if sharks never existed, who would take their place? In our alternate history, large predatory fish, like groupers and barracudas, could evolve to fill the gap. These hunters would become faster, more aggressive, and possibly much larger over millions of years. Orcas, killer whales, might have taken over as the primary marine apex predator. Without sharks to compete with, they could expand into tropical waters, hunting everything from dolphins to giant squid. But here's the twist. These new predators wouldn't necessarily play the same ecological role as sharks. Sharks are unique in that they patrol vast territories and keep many different ecosystems balanced at once. Without them, apex predators might become highly specialized, dominating certain areas, but leaving others overrun with prey species. One of the most surprising impacts would be on coral reefs. Healthy reefs depend on a delicate balance between plant life and herbivores, like parrotfish and surgeonfish. Sharks indirectly protect coral by controlling mid-level predators that would otherwise overhunt these herbivores. Without sharks, the mid-level predators, like snapper and grouper, could wipe out too many plant-eating fish. That means algae would overgrow the reefs, smothering corals and turning vibrant ecosystems into lifeless rock. In short, without sharks, the ocean's most colorful habitats could vanish. Now let's bring humans into the picture. Our relationship with sharks is complicated. They've inspired fear, respect, and countless myths. But in a world without them, our maritime history would look different. Fishing industries might have developed faster without the fear of shark attacks. Coastal cities could have expanded more aggressively into tropical waters. On the flip side, the ocean might have become more dangerous in other ways. Without sharks, certain species like giant squid or aggressive barracudas might have evolved into even more formidable threats to humans. And without sharks to inspire ancient legends, our mythology and even our art would lack one of its most iconic symbols of the wild. Go back hundreds of millions of years, and the absence of sharks changes the course of evolution entirely. In the Devonian period, the age of fishes, sharks were among the first vertebrate predators to dominate the seas. Without them, armored fish called placoderms might have remained the ocean's rulers for far longer. This could delay the rise of modern bony fish by millions of years. Marine reptiles in the Mesozoic, like mosasaurs and plesiosaurs, might have faced an entirely different evolutionary arms race without sharks shaping the ecosystem before them. This is the big question. Would humans be safer if sharks never existed? Probably not. While sharks do occasionally attack humans, these incidents are extremely rare, far rarer than lightning strikes. And in their absence, the ocean would still have predators. In fact, without sharks to balance populations, some predators could become more aggressive toward humans. Even more importantly, an unhealthy ocean without sharks would ultimately hurt us through collapsing fisheries, toxic algae blooms, and a loss of biodiversity. So in a strange twist, sharks, the animals many people fear most, actually make the seas safer for everyone. Sharks are more than just predators. They're the ocean's engineers, doctors, and guardians. Without them, our world's oceans would be less balanced, less healthy, and far less beautiful. So next time you hear the faint, ominous theme of Jaws in your head while swimming, remember this: the real danger isn't living in a world with sharks. It's living in a world without them.